Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's The Handmaid's Tale, Season 4, Episode 6, entitled Vows. I give a recap of the entire episode with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I have all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. June is in a traumatic daze, hearing her name over and over again in current time and reminiscing of a calmer time with her best friend, having a wonderful morning and drinking mimosas. Meanwhile, Moria tries to snap her out of her daze, letting her know that she must receive medical attention. But June is still disoriented. She wants to find Janine. She desperately keeps telling June that they may be able to get her help and they have to go to the medical tent. And maybe Janine is there. They join several others as medics view injuries, and slowly June's memory comes to, remembering Moria saying her name. There's constant gibberish from June that doesn't make quite sense, and the medic lets Moria know that it's possible she may have a concussion. Una announces with the bullhorn that it's not a secure area and everyone must leave the premises immediately. She's informed that June has been found, but unfortunately, there is a possibility of more bombs and they can continue shortly. They can't leave the supplies because people will kill each other over it. She's not making any exception just to save June, and that one person's life isn't more important than anyone else's. As they gather everything to leave, Moria's goal is to sneak June onto the boat. The crowd pleads that they're starving and to please take them along. June is still seeking and pleading that they must find Janine, and Moria snaps her out of it, yes, again, letting her know that it's possible she could be dead, and their goal right now is to run and get away. June still mumbles that she's got to find Hannah, she's got to find Janine, and Moria reminds her that Hannah is safer now than with them, and to fight when they get to Canada. Everyone who loves her is in Canada. She refuses to leave without June again. They run for the boat and she hides June, telling her not to move. June looks outside to see the crowd overpower the gate, but the boat has already left the dock with all of the supplies. There's a flashback scene of June gathering her things to live with Luke, and Moria thinks that everything is just a bad idea when it comes to marrying Luke because he cheated on his wife and then left her because she couldn't reproduce. It's better to break off the engagement instead of ending a marriage. June is adamant that they're different and she's not like his previous wife. Una checks on Moria and hopes everything is okay after seeing such a difficult event. They're almost home and the only thing that's left is to just pass the post-inspection. She apologized that they couldn't bring June, and Moria tells her the unfortunate secret that she's brought June aboard. The crew is pissed about June's presence. This means serious danger and possibly more war. Una explains that June's work is applauded with Angel's flight, but there's danger. Being the crew leader, she makes the ultimate decision, but wants to hear everybody else's thoughts. Before anyone can begin, Moria tells everybody that it's full responsibility on her. She brought her aboard and June didn't even want to come. One crew member thinks that they should turn in June because if they don't, their future work is done for. Too many people are at risk, children and other families as well in Gilead. June stops the arguing and offers that they turn her in and just say it was all her idea and she snuck aboard on her own. Her life is not more important than anyone else's. As they await the Gilead port observers, the crew looks ahead in fear. They're getting closer and closer and trying to make a decision. And Una has a last-minute change of heart. She wants Moria to get June a life vest and make sure that June doesn't mess anything up. It's nightfall and each crew member is identified with documentation while stating their name and where they're from. June says that her name is Rachel Smith and the guard asks what's wrong with her face. And Moria jumps in and credits that to a lot of the ruckus that happened at the rescue site. When the port guards leave, there's a sigh of relief from the crew. They made it. They're going to Canada. There's a flashback scene of June and Luke moving into their new love nest. And June wants to know about his previous wedding. Was it at a church? Did you create your own vows? I mean, what if they can't have children? And she's worried if she can't, will he be disappointed in her? Luke assures that June is not Annie, and he's a different person than he was in that previous marriage. And all that he wants is June, and she can never disappoint him. And if she does change, he'll love the new June. As June reminisces about Luke, those thoughts are interrupted by an overheard argument between Una and Moria. Una is upset that she put her in a position to either take her along or destine someone to their death. She's had to leave many people behind, and many people on her crew have had to make sacrifices every day, just like everybody else. She knows that it feels bad to leave people behind, and even has trouble going to sleep at night. Una is so upset she doesn't even want to talk to Moria anymore, yet alone see her. Moria goes to check on June, but she's not in her bed. She sees June trying to release a rescue boat. She pleads that she needs to return and get Hannah. And when she saw her daughter, she was afraid of her and didn't even know who she was. Moria reminds her that the idea is insane because she could die in the ocean waters and get captured or die. She needs to have faith that everything that's in Canada, those people are there, they need her and they love her. She convinces her to just stop everything that she's thinking, and they hold each other and cry. June remembers the day when she told Luke that she was pregnant, and the intimate moments as a family, the different places that they went. Thinking about Hannah, growing and developing memories. It's the next day, and it's an awkward energy. June needs to get herself together and her thoughts before she sees Luke. Moira reminds her that she doesn't have to get off the boat now, and she can just take a moment just to gather everything. She tries to fix her hair and calm down, but as she's doing so, she hears footsteps approaching. It's Luke, and there are several moments of silence. Luke looks confused, and her first words are, "I'm sorry I don't have her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Luke embraces her by saying it's okay, and they hold one another. June takes a long pause before departing the boat, takes a deep breath and exhales, and ingests the emotions of her first step on Canada's free ground. And that is the end of the episode. It is your favorite part of the video, my review of this episode. When I tell you I was just so anxious in this episode because I'm like, oh my gosh, June, I promise you, if you say you stay in there or you go back, like I was just like, she better not. Every time she did something, I was like, June, you better not. Don't do it. You better not. And it turned into just being anxious, and then like feeling like, okay, I'm gonna start getting mad at this character if they keep missing out on opportunities to go back, right? Even when she was about to get the rescue boat, I'm like, where she think she going? What's she about to do? She don't got a paddle or nothing. What is she going to do? And you're within the Gilead borders? Like, what is wrong with you? You're not that far from the little sea borders and everything. You think about getting on a boat, like, and I'm thinking, okay, she's not thinking clearly. She has, might have a concussion. Woo, I was just like, Lord. Now, her friend is her best friend for a reason. Let's talk about several things that she mentioned, not only in the previous episodes, but this current one. Moria also said, like, she was frustrated with the guilt of having to take care of things and decisions that June made, taking care of her daughter, having to feel like she's always having to explain actions that she's made, how it's affected other people. It's like she's living in June's light, and that's understandable. And also, in this episode, constantly going out for her friend. Now, that's her friend, all this other stuff, but she wasn't thinking clearly that they could cut off food, supplies, medicine. She's not thinking about that. She's just thinking about getting June on there and thinking about her friend. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, if you saw your parent, a loved one, a sibling, heck, a pet, you would have been like, okay, this, I'm sneaking them onto this boat. But you have to consider that her then girlfriend Una is saying it's too risky. Like, we have family too. Like, they're stranded. We got people in Gilead. We got people suffering out here. Like, clearly it's not just you, boo. But, always thinking of her friend. And of course, she's the main character. Duh. Those rational thoughts of taking care of her. And once again, June has affected her life by messing up the relationship that she had, because she put her in this position. Like, we could have all got killed. We could have all been captured and maybe sent to Gilead. I don't know. But you just put us in this situation because you made this rational thought. And June having her friend to say, girl, look, your husband is there. Your daughter is there. I'm there. Like, there's safety. You saw your daughter and you had that moment where she didn't recognize you. Like, oh my goodness, I cannot even begin to understand how that feels. But Hannah's not in any danger where they're not harming her at the moment. Let's just try to get you to an area where you're safe and we can fight to get her back while we're free, while we have food, while we are surrounded by people that love us. Kind of snapping her into reality. Like, girl, what are you thinking? Like, come on. We're clearly gonna see the aftermath of June's decisions and how it's affected everybody else. Her friend, her girlfriend being gone, her work environment, everything. June's gonna see all of that because now she has her husband. Now she has her freedom. She has all of these things, and it just, finally having that epiphany of sacrificing that, turn me in. No life is better, more important than the other one. You guys are right. Her having this moment because the crew members are nervous and scared. She's the lead, but she's listening to everyone. And they're like, let's turn her in. Like, what's the problem? That's an easy decision. Like, what are you talking about? Turn her into Gilead. And we agree. Yeah, we'll go along with June. It was her idea. Yeah, she snuck on the boat. Like, because they're thinking about their families. Clearly understandable. So there's going to be aftermaths of that in the next episode. I just know for sure because everybody has their emotional riff and their emotional venting to give to her. Luke's taking care of the daughter, right? Not his biological daughter, but he's respecting the fact that she stayed behind, that he's taking care of the daughter. Moria's accepting that she stayed behind many times and left her with the daughter and all this other stuff. And even, I think that's her name, Emily, said to Moria, like, we all have that guilty feeling, like that, she helped us, so we've got to continuously help her, and we feel guilty about doing things in our life. But there should be a balance in them feeling they should be able to live their lives, not thinking about June. But it's just like, how do you rationally think in a time of war and you haven't been trained to be a soldier or anything like that? You're making it based upon, emotions, and you have desperation. You have all this stuff mixed together. Like, there's this confusion of what was a right decision and what was a wrong decision, because everybody's thinking about their loved ones and what's going on. So it's just, people are behaving in different ways. It is possible that Janine could be alive. It is possible. Maybe she came to sooner than June. We don't know how long they had been lying there before the rescue people came. Highly likely she might be alive, and then highly unlikely that she may have already been deceased, because they did experience the actual dropping of the bomb right in front of both of them. So if she reappears again, that'd be great. But if she doesn't, it's kind of like, okay, well, there was a bomb. But June just kind of like had me on the fence, like, girl, what are you doing? You think you're about to get on this boat? Like, what's I was just tripping. I was just so tripping, like, please don't do this. Do not do this. It was really sad to see that they had to leave those people behind. And I was really confused of why they couldn't leave the supplies. Because it's like, yeah, they could hurt one another getting the supplies, but it's something, I don't agree. They could have just, I don't know, just leaving nothing just seemed kind of odd to me and strange. But once again, making that decision in a rush of time, having to leave, another bomb could drop in a minute, we gotta go. It's kind of like, okay, I kind of get it. But then I see the other side of that too. I see the other percentage of it in the thinking and saying it's safer if we just come back, right? Having the clarity of like, okay, they're not bombing, and we can hand out the supplies in a nice fashion to have everybody lined up. Everybody's getting a good source, or by that time they could have maybe brought everyone back. There's this flip of the coin of decisions, because being the audience, we're saying, oh, why did you do that, and you did do this or whatever. But in a very quick moment of fear and not knowing which way is up and what's going to happen next, it's kind of like none of us would know what we would have done. She just tried to use her best judgment in that moment as the leader of the program, and as the decision maker, the lead decision maker when it comes to that rescue service. We're already gonna have some ruckus from the crew members when after they've settled in and saying, we got her. And is it possible that they saved June because that's their friend? I mean, they're going to have that as well. I look forward to what they're going to talk about in this next episode when it comes to, was this an event of favoritism? Are they not going to want to help Una anymore? Like, it's just a lot up in the wind. Will it cause more danger? Because when will they let everybody know that June is there? Like, they're getting me with this one. It wouldn't be a surprise to me if there's maybe like 10 episodes in this season. That makes a lot of sense, because it has to be understanding of how the season is going to wrap up. If you're new to this channel, I've been suggesting that this show should not exceed longer than 6 seasons, 5 or 6 seasons, because there's only so much repetition that you could do. The writers will be smart. As I've said before, this is for the newbies. I know people that have subscribed to the channel have been following along. You've heard me say this, but I'm saying this for the newbies, that it would make sense for it to exceed past 6 seasons, because when talking about certain things like war and everything like that, when it comes to a storyline, you don't want to exhaust your audience. And everything doesn't have to be wrapped up in a pretty little bow at the end, but what the writers can do is give indications of hopes with certain things, signs of Gilead falling, signs of other militant groups becoming more powerful, signs of things being at some sort of things coming to a peace. Because let's just say, they just say, oh, we don't want to do this no more, the war is over. You still have believers of certain groups. You still have rationalists of groups and things like that. Then you have things of revenge. Then you have things. There's this ripple effect. It's not just a switch of on and off. There's a lot of stuff that comes along with it. So if they have past 6 seasons, the only way I see it going past 6 seasons is if they start to go into what's happening in different countries and the processes that they've been through with Gilead. But I think that if each season has 10 to 12 episodes, you can wrap that up in a season 5 and a season 6. I know there's talk that they can go 10 seasons, but I will tap out, because I don't see why it would need to go that far. Like, what else does the audience have to sit through? Like, really? Like, come on. I would literally have to wait all of those years and just see, like, what would be the end of that. I've mentioned Walking Dead. I've mentioned all of these other shows to where you can exhaust your audience by just doing the same stuff over and over again and not having some type of conclusion. Let me know what you think. Subscribe. Don't forget to like this video, you guys, and spread the word about this family-friendly channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any posts, and also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of things that are coming. Also, check out other shows that are in the pinned comment. I have all of the links below. Check out Ready to Love. It's a hilarious reality dating show. Check out Delilah. Check out Insecure. There's all these shows. I've just put just a few, but there's several things in the playlist. There's a health and wellness playlists. It's all kinds of stuff. But I've just put the most recent ones in the pinned comments. So click on those, binge watch, and watch some new shows that maybe you probably wouldn't watch and is out of your comfort zone, and something new. In the meantime, take care of yourself and each other. And if you're just here for the Handmaid's Tale, that's cool. That's fine. I hope that you join the Official Bunny family. And I'll just see you next week if that's the case. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Until next time, bye.